Hi guys, it's Jennibellie. I've been asked by Ice Cream 88888888888 if I can do a video on how I organise my recycled materials. So that's what this video is on. And the recycled materials that you will see are fabric, paper, wood and metals and things like that. And just in case you're wondering what the hell I do with all of this stuff, I'll show you a few projects at the end. But probably the best video I've done that shows you what I do with all of this stuff is the Found Elements and Other Projects video that will be in my book arts and similar creations playlist on my channel. So that'll be the best place to see what you can do with these kind of materials. And let's get on with the video. So what I thought I would do at the same time is just give you, as I go through the different boxes and things, tips as to how to accumulate this stuff, because when you start this you will soon realise that there is so much value in things that are thrown away. So this box anyone can create. All this is junk mail, this box, and also these coffee containers that my coffee machine, which I drink a lot of. This is the box that I showed you how to make the Dos Days book with. So I did a tutorial on how to use that. These are just programs, some catalogues in the middle, then this side things that come through the post, and all of these, like that book I showed you in the Art Supplies 101. That first book that I showed you, that was made out of things like this. And you'll find, like here, this I picked up when I went to a uni thing. It's really good quality. I mean, they don't spare expense, a lot of the companies that make these things for promotion. So why not use it to your own advantage and create something out of it? Here's this cool thing that I've been thinking of a long time, how to turn it into a journal. So it's from a library that I joined. And it's just kind of like this folder thing, but this is going to make a really good journal when I come around to making it. So that's the first box, probably the simplest box of items that you can collect, things that come through your door. This bag here, it's just one of those grocery bags that you can get from your supermarket, you know, the bag for life kind of things where you don't need to buy plastic bags anymore. And I try and keep all of my cereal boxes and, you know, things that from tea and cereal bar boxes, all the kind of packaging that comes out of your kitchen, the cardboard, I try and keep it in here to try and keep it on a minimum. I know that seems bizarre, but as I say, you will begin to see value in everything that you throw out, so you really do need to use it to keep ahead of it, because we throw out stuff every day that has value to it. And I know a few people that, since I did the cereal box journal tutorial, collect cereal boxes and yada yada. So some of the things in here, the cheese boxes that I showed you how to make a wall hanging journal with, some tablet boxes, because these are really good for paint pots and stuff like that. This is just a little box I got as a Christmas present, a keyring. And isn't this going to make a cute journal? When you open it this way, it's going to have a window on it. That'll make a really cute journal when I get around to making it. The same with tablet boxes. Make really cute little handbag journals, as do toilet rolls, which I have a lot of in here. These boxes here that come through with documents in, envelopes, sorry, not boxes, come through with envelopes in, all these Amazon boxes here. When I say I've made a journal out of packaging, this is what I'm talking about. So most recently the Smash book that I made, and also that week flip, that art journal that was just 1 week. The actual packaging, the covers were made of this kind of packaging. So keep a hold and look out for those kind of things, because they've got 1,000,001 uses for them. Now the other kind of ones I'm going to show you are these, the smaller versions of the junk mail box that's got compartments in it. And these are by the Really Useful Storage Co. And I've recently bought a big unit to house all of these kind of things, as well as some drawers. And I will show you that when I do a tour of my art room, because that's been requested as well. And I have a very small art room, so I have to be very crafty about how I store things. This box here, it's quite a deep one, deeper than the last one that I've just shown you, is all of my recycled beads. So these, for example, are off of the same piece of a necklace, but I just try and keep things. These are from different necklaces and bracelets and things, but they kind of go together, so they're together. So I kind of put them in an order that's sensible to me. And I used to be a great collector when I was a teenager of jewellery. I had so much jewellery, and now I don't wear anything. As you can see, I've occasionally put a ring on or a bracelet, but not every day anymore. So I've begun to look at these items that I have that don't bring me joy anymore and figured out how I can get something out of them. So a lot of my old pieces of jewellery have begun to turn into these boxes here. These, like acrylic dangles, are from an old chandelier. They're from everywhere and anywhere, really. All the bottom layer is pretty much from belts. You can see this is an old necklace that I used to love when I was at university, but I don't use it anymore. These are all from belts, and you can get a lot of mileage out of one belt, because obviously they're a lot longer than a necklace. Now, what I will do, obviously, is I put the feelers out to my friends and my family. Don't throw anything away. If you think you've got something you don't want anymore, give it to Jennibellie. She'll make something out of it. And also what I do is I will go to charity shops or car boot sales, and I'll find broken pieces, and you can get them very cheap. And you can make them back into a piece of jewellery, or you can take them apart and make them into what you want. Because it doesn't make sense to me, if you're a jewellery maker, to go into a bead shop and spend a fortune on these kind of beads. Yes, if they're speciality beads that you have something particular in mind for, but these, I mean, these are beautiful. These remind me of, you know, those shishas, the smoking pipes, the base of them, the shape of them. They're just some beautiful things that you will get out of, I mean, these glass beads here are just stunning. They're Aurora Borealis, and they're just beautiful. And you will end up, if I keep them organised like this, the things that I have in my art room that are this organised are the things that I will use the most. So these beads have probably halved in size since I started collecting. And I haven't really started collecting, if I'm honest, more than a year. I'm just, because some of you might know if you follow my blog, I recently moved from a very big place into a small one. And it's actually since I've been in the smaller place that I've gathered the most stuff. It's quite insane, but it works because I do this kind of organisation. So you can buy these compartments separate to the boxes and figure out a system that works for you. Now this is all full of pieces of jewellery in here. These are that chandelier that I was talking about. So this is the top halves of the chandeliers. And when the actual fitting no longer worked, I just took apart all of these dangles from them before I threw the rim away. This is a belt that, as you can see, has got nothing to attach it to, so no broken belt. This bracelet, I loved this bracelet for very many years because I love the Aurora Borealis, but it just kept falling apart because it's not very well made. In honesty, it's only a cheap piece of jewellery, but I love it, so that's going to be made into something beautiful. These things here came off of a soap. Somebody bought soap from Greece or somewhere, and they came off of the soap. I mean, some really beautiful pieces in here. And then this one has all more of the centerpieces that I might call, that I might put onto a journal. So this beautiful butterfly brooch, I've had this brooch for years and years and years, and it's just been kind of sat in a jewellery box not being used, so why not use it on something that you're going to see every day. These beautiful things are off of a necklace that I was given from my auntie years ago. Never wore it, so I took them apart for these. Belts, zipper pulls, These my best friend gave me. I can't exactly tell you what they are. They're not bangles. I don't know what they are or where she got them from, but I was given those. These are off of a belt. The section's off of a belt. Really, really pretty. Lots of old pendenty things in here. Things like this given because there's a little gemstone that's come out of it. Now you can obviously use it to either forage for other stones items like this, or you can replace it and create something with what's there. My final kind of really useful box. This one are the 9 litres, just in case you're wondering. These are the 9 litres. These over here are the 4 litre size. And again, you can buy, this one doesn't have drawers and it has a shelf. It kind of fits in the top and then drawers underneath, which are covered in other stuff at the moment. But I have like little containers, things that are broken and little beautiful little Aurora Borealis stones. These are from a necklace that I had when I was very young, when I was very little, costume jewellery, but they're still good to use now. It doesn't matter that they're old or vintage items in here. A necklace that nobody wanted, chokers, chains, lots of bits and pieces of chains that come from random things. Awesome to use. This is that belt that I was telling you about. As you can see, all of the metal flowers have come out, so you're not really going to wear it as it is. So taking that apart for use. Belt that broke. I've kept these metal items because I may one day use these metal items here. Lots of necklaces. And when I do take things apart, things that I still are able to use, like the hooks and catchers and all of that kind of thing, I save them in here. I don't throw anything away. You can have value from everything that you get. These little leather swatch here, all kinds of stuff. I mean, this was a bracelet that I bought maybe 15 years ago for £1. And I got my pound's value wearing it, but I don't wear things like this anymore. So one day I may turn it into something. And you know what? It's better for me to have them in these boxes than having them in old jewellery boxes, because I never go through the old jewellery boxes. These boxes I look at, if not on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to find something or other that's going to fit into whatever I'm creating. I create things sometimes by picking something out of these boxes and then working a theme around it. Sometimes make something and then go to these boxes because there's something particular that needs to match up. But it's wonderful having like a collection of such adornments that, like this belt. I got this belt for 20p from a car boot sale, and it's got all of these wooden bits and pieces on it. I mean, it's just going to be awesome when I create something with these pieces. More bits of belt, lots of belts. Ties. When you redecorate, don't throw these kind of things away. These ropes, I mean, come on. So going to use these for corded books or something like that. And this one here is just stunning. It's got like lovely beads on it. Another old, actually that's not so old, that was a Primarché buy. This here, my best friend gave me this here. I don't know why she had it or why I've got it, but there's just so many charms that I can use with that. These old glass pieces from IKEA, these used to be on an old bedstead, that when the bedstead got thrown away I pulled these off to save them. This is from one of my old mini skirts that I used to wear when I was a teenager. Obviously the mini skirt wouldn't fit my arm anymore, so I've used the little metal things one day I'll probably use. These vintage findings, I love these vintage findings. I don't often use them on my books, but they are here for when I do. An old choker, I used to use at uni. Belt. When you refurbish furniture, keep your doorknobs. Some old pieces that I've been given. More belts. I mean, look at the amount of beading on this belt as well as charms. beautiful. I mean, they're only cheap plastic beads, but you can make them into something so stunning. And I know this box looks disorganised, but I do know what is in each of my boxes. So, you know, obviously organise it as to what kind of waist suits you. Here are some vintage hat pins, more belts, and then down here, this is a coaster. I mean, when this is inked up or alcohol inked up or got some colour on it, that's going to be beautiful. And then you may find this strange, but brass horseshoes. I mean, they've got some fun designs on them. I can't even tell you where I got these from. But just don't throw anything away. I mean, they're so decorative. Mixed media is all about having the unusual, and if you get things that are unusual and begin a collection, you will find that you will use them. You won't be frightened of what you've got. You will one day figure out how you can use it all. So I think that is it for my main boxes, and obviously you've got to figure out your own sort of storage system. This is just mine. And I do have, a lot of you know that I do collect vintage ephemera. I haven't shown you any of the ephemera because they're in boxes like this, or just pretty decorative boxes. Things like patterns, dress patterns, cigarette cards, playing cards, maps, books, old programs, old annuals. I mean, you can see some of it in the Smash book, but I tend to use those kinds of items in books all the time, every single book I make, because you're recycling old things that have... I'll never pull apart a good book. I'll always pull apart books that are already broken, ripped, need repair, haven't been very well looked after, kids have drawn on them and things like that. And what I'll also pick up to save are things like these tins. Now in here are just beads again from a belt. But I picked these up at Car Boot, and they're left out in the rain and things, and it's not very good for vintage tins, you know. So I'll collect things like this, and these have got vintage buttons in that I've picked up, collected. Here has got some... This does have vintage ephemera in it. This has some cigarette cards. Just some random ones. And I really like these kind of decorative kind of things because you can leave these out. But for this kind of storage, I'll show you more about this in my studio, my art space tour when I do that video. So I just wanted to show you what I have, and you can obviously see that you can collect beautiful things for your artwork and for whatever else you use them for. I obviously use them for making books a lot of the time, but they can be used for anything. So I really hope it's given you some ideas as to where to go and get this kind of stuff and how to organise it. And I will see you soon. Guys, as a final note, I just thought I'd mention fabric. I realised I haven't spoken about fabric, and these are the kind of boxes, these cardboard boxes I'll keep my fabric in. And I just want to show you some random projects. Like this was an old checked shirt. This was just all the little scraps and pieces. This was my first ever project that I made on my sewing machine. As you can tell, it's not very well crafted. So that was my first ever thing that I made with the sewing machine. This is, I don't know if you can see up here, but this book is actually made out of candy wrappers. So don't even throw your toffee wrappers away. This one, I've just got random books here. I just picked up a load as I ran back down to do this one. These are just a shell necklace that fell apart, and these are all the little shells out of it, and because they've been strung with a hole in the middle, over the holes I just put some gemstones on either side. So it's quite a heavy book now, but I think that's quite a cool effect. And then finally I just picked up this quick one that has bits of old jewellery on a Tim Holtz swivel clasp, and then this old earring on the front, but I think it's really pretty. So I just wanted to say also clothing, old shirts, things like that as well. Obviously keep them, and you can make something out of them too. Properly buy this time. Bye!